Hello and welcome back to SnowRunner, y'all. And in this video, we're going to be checking out a brand new map in the highway hauling sort of series or franchise of maps. I'm not quite sure exactly what you would call it. I guess at this point, highway hauling is more of a trilogy than anything else. But this map, once again, is called Bentwood, or rather Bentwood County, and it is the latest in the highway hauling series of maps. And really, for the remainder of this video, I'm just going to refer to highway hauling as a series rather than any other choice of words. I just feel like series makes the most sense. And as usual with the highway hauling maps, these maps have always been, I guess you could say, they're kind of multi-purpose. And I say that because these maps tend to cater to both the people that enjoy an objective-based gameplay style, but they also cater to the people that enjoy a role-play-based gameplay style, because you could jump into this map and only do roleplay style stuff with your friends or by yourself and never touch any of the missions. And I think that that's what, or rather it's one of the things that makes these maps really attractive for a lot of different people. Now, to start this particular one off though, I decided to just do a very stock Bronco. We didn't really modify anything at all. We just kind of went with it as the dealership would give it to you. And of course, from there, it was going to be time to find some tasks to do, which honestly, finding tasks on these maps is a little bit, you can kind of just find them anywhere. And you're never really at a loss for things to do, because if you ever find yourself on a highway hauling map at a loss for things to do, I feel like that's kind of your own fault. If you're like, wow, I'm out here and there's absolutely nothing to do. Nothing. And either you have done absolutely every task, contract, or other, I don't know, interactive element on the map, and also explored every corner of it, and also done a bunch of role play, and then maybe at that point, I would kind of understand where you are coming from in terms of not having anything left to do. But that would be many hours of gameplay later. But the first thing I wanted to do was I wanted to go ahead and get our, I don't know, sort of base sorted out, kind of like a house situation or a base situation. I didn't really know what was out there on this map yet, because, fun fact, I tried to run this map several times on the public test server, and let's just say the public test server does not like this map. Every time I try to load this map on the public test server, it crashes, like, immediately. But instead of letting myself get bogged down on a rant about that, what I do want to talk about is how the creator behind the highway hauling series of maps is genuinely doing so much to keep this game alive. These highway hauling maps, I would personally argue, have breathed more life into this game and into this game's future than even the DLC regions have, because, to be honest, more people have access to the highway hauling maps than they do to the DLCs. Not because the DLCs are not available, but because more people just have the opportunity to try these highway hauling maps. And also, these highway hauling maps are just so well laid out, they're so well put together, and they truly give everyone that plays them an opportunity to enjoy them differently. So when you have, honestly, a collection really now at this point, from the very first highway hauling all the way over to now, you have so many different opportunities for gameplay that it just kind of ends up being entirely up to you as to what experience you personally want to have. And I love that. However, I can completely understand how even stuff like this isn't necessarily going to fix some people's impressions of this game, because I know that a lot of people out there still have issues with SnowRunner. They still have they have a bad enough taste from this game that they just don't want to play it again, or they played it so much when it first came out that now they can't really see themselves going back to it because maybe they see it as boring or repetitive, or really any of those things in between. And as I was talking about in one of my videos last week, a lot of the community resided on Xbox and they have been treated not necessarily the best. And that, I mean, yeah, that would leave a bad taste for me as well if I was in that position. And whether or not it's worth it to you to come back to SnowRunner, even for a mod map or a modded vehicle, is genuinely and entirely up to you. Because I still have people in, say, for example, my comments that say, oh, I still play SnowRunner all the time. I also have people in my comments that say, oh my God, why would you even still bother to play this game? It died a long time ago. So this game, I think, finds itself in one of those odd in-betweens where half the community, I mean, obviously these numbers are not going to be anywhere near, I'm kind of paraphrasing by saying this, but you have the one part of the community that's like, you know, oh, I love this game, I'm still playing it to this day. And then you have others that are like, why would anyone still play this game? This game's dead. And I think the people that say, or rather primarily, the people that like to go around and say that this game is dead and they post it under every other SnowRunner video that they see, I feel like those people are probably, or at least they probably feel like they have somehow been wronged by this game, because I think you don't necessarily lash out that hard at a game unless you felt like it wronged you in some way. Because thinking in terms of, say, for example, the Spin Tires tech demo or Mud Runner, for example, I don't remember, even when those games were kind of nearing their quote-unquote end of life, I do not remember there being a super vocal community of people out there that would go around to content about those games and say, oh, this game's dead, stop playing it. This game's dead, stop playing it. However, with SnowRunner, I see that on the regular. I see that on the regular, no matter whether it's a video or a YouTube short or this, that, and the other, of people saying, you should stop playing this game. This game is dead, and you're stupid if you keep playing it. And I know that last part of it where I said, like, oh, you're stupid, quote unquote, if you keep playing this game. I know that sounds genuinely ridiculous, but I've honestly seen a lot of comments saying either that or something very similar. So there are people out there that feel clearly, honestly, like clearly like this game has wronged them in some grand fashion. However, if you were someone that was playing this game a lot and you ended up either stopping playing it mostly or entirely, let me know in the comments down below what games you moved over to. Now, in terms of PC players, I'm sure that a lot of the PC players are going to say BeamNG Drive, because, I mean, hell, I also play BeamNG Drive. I enjoy it. It's a blast. However, I know that the console players don't necessarily have access to BeamNG, and I'm particularly curious to know what the Xbox community that was playing this game eventually moved on to. Did you move into another driving game, or did you leave the driving genre entirely? And I'm honestly especially curious to know, if you left the driving game genre entirely after SnowRunner, what games are you playing now? And is there anything that this series would be able to do to draw you back into it? Because, I mean, obviously, I genuinely enjoy this series, but I can also see how at this point, especially with all of the Xbox issues, it could end up putting you in a position where you're like, yeah, no, that's it, I'm done. However, with all of that being said and done, let me know any and all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. And where I'm going to leave y'all off is, honestly, just having a look at our brand new house that we are going to use as our little base of operations on this map, And I'm actually really, really excited about it because it's got a massive driveway, it's got a really cool garage, and it's also got, honestly, a lot of parking, which I'm sure is going to be very useful, especially considering my future plans. So once again, that is where I'm going to end this one off, and I'll see y'all next time.